Hello, good evening. Today is a Sunday. We're blessed to have this opportunity to have a conversation, of course, as usual, a conversation that is geared towards the betterment of our country. I want to take this opportunity to welcome all our viewers and to remind you that this is Brother Benson Media. And over here, we say that your opinion counts. If you're new to this channel, kindly like and subscribe to the channel. If you do so, it is a way of supporting us, na sisi hapa tutasema ni asante. Allow me to take this opportunity to welcome Miguda. Miguda, unaweza tuambia siku yako imekuaje na unapangaje?
Asante sana kakangu, siku yangu imekuwa vyema, Mola amejalia, na pia nashukuru Mola kwa
Miguda,
wikendi
I can't hear you. I don't know whether it's my side or your side.
Unanisikia? Nasema nimeshinda poa kakangu, wikendi yangu imekuwa vyema, na pia nashukuru Mola kwa wikendi nzuri. Ni tu matatizo hapa na pale. Naona umevaa jaketi, na pia mimi naweza kuambia pale niko kuna baridi, na pia tuna jaribu kama binadamu. Tuko na hakika na tuko na imani na tuko na okay kwamba Mola atatufanyia vizuri na tuepuke katika changamoto tunazo katika nchini. Kwako?
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for finding time to join us this evening as well. We really appreciate, and to our viewers as usual, thank you so much for finding time to join us. If you're new, kindly like and subscribe. If you do so, it is a way of supporting us. Na sisi hapa tutasema ni asante. Yes, so Miguda, I just want us to get straight to the topic of today, where Rigathi Gachagua is having a different version of what is to be expected. That is on the Kenya's future. On the other side, the president, Dr. William Samoei Arap Ruto, is also having his own plans. Rigathi Gachagua, the former deputy president, is saying that the plans that the president has cannot take the Republic of Kenya anywhere. According to him, he's saying that they are unrealistic and that they are plans which can never, can never work. And he's also saying that they are just stories. And that, of course, brings me to this question. What is your take on the future of the Republic of Kenya as per the version that is given by the President, William Samoei Ruto, vis-a-vis what the former Deputy President is giving or is saying? Mr. Miguda.
Oh, thank you so much. I just want to report to you the future of the country is not in the hands of the current president and the hands of former deputy president. They are just competitors who are exchanging words from their camps. But what is most important is that the future of this country is in the hands of the people of Kenya. It is the people who will determine where they want to take the country to. The leadership structure or the current leaders, they cannot decide for the Kenyan people, because someone might just speak to a targeted audience, or someone might just speak for political mileage. But I don't think they are realistic, because most of these leaders have been there before. And whenever they have been there before, they were having opportunity to transform the country. But if that time they never attempted, what is this miracle that is going to happen within a millisecond that today they are going to transform the country because they have said so? I don't think that is way to go as a country. We should also ensure that we engage the mass of the public understand. And someone said that even if you give him 100 years, he will not change anything. I think that's where we are. We need to come out as a people. And transformation does not only happen on the street. Transformation can be actualized on the ballot. But to Ruto, there are things that he's saying, and even if people are opposing them, but some have been actualized, some are in place. It's a work in progress. Some also saying that it cannot. It's very much impossible. How do they know that some are impossible, some are possible, and when they come to power, what will they do that is not fitting the country right now? I think we also need to have solutions to the Kenyan problem, but most importantly, it is the people who will decide the fate of this country, not leaders or our representatives.
Good.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done.
Okay, yeah, just on the same. Why do you think regarding Gachagua is coming out to dispute? I mean, is giving a different version of the plans that the president has, and he's saying that the president is a perennial in his statement, perennial liar, and he doesn't really um, follow the promises that he's given. And according to him, not just him, I was actually following this evening the former AG Muturi, who is also using similar words. He's saying that the president cannot be trusted and that, the president will tell you something today and it will not be actualized in their own statement. What is your view? Is it just a view that is coming because they are on the opposition side, or these are genuine concerns from Kenyan citizen? Remember, they're also Kenyan citizen. You think the president is on the right track in ensuring that Kenya gets to the third world, or where the people, not just the people. Remember, Raila used to say that Kenya was at the par. Should be at the par with the countries like Singapore. That is something that is sung until his death. What is your take? Do you think the all those things that the president are implementing are geared towards taking Kenya to the third world country?
Third world country. We can't come from third world country.
Getting it out of third world country.
We can't go to the first world country immediately. It can't happen within a year or 2 years. That's why I told you it's a work in progress. It requires sometimes for us to be where we are yearning to be. And the two people who are currently accusing the president of lying blatantly, they were there before. They were with him. And when they were with him, they never reported to the public that the guy is lying. They're not reporting now that they're out. If they could have never chased, could they have revealed the true character of the president? Or they're doing it because they're now in opposition? Or they're doing it because they are opponents? Of course, he's a liar, and even by that time he was lying. But why did they wait until they get out of government? Now they started to speak a different language. But while they were in the government, they were quiet. I think we should be principled people, that when it was wrong when I was in, it is wrong when I'm also outside. When it was right when I was in, It's also right when I'm outside. It can't be wrong when I'm outside, but when I'm in, it's right. I think that is where we are getting it wrong. So the duo, Rigathi Gachagua and JB Muturi, they are not that angels because they were also supporting the administration of William Ruto by that time. But now they're outside, they're saying that it is good, they're speaking, but why could they spoke by that time? They were inside there. That's the question you're asking. So Kenya should not be taken for a ride whereby when it suits you, you confront. And also, I can say it's a work in progress. There are things you can see that have been done, like roads, stadia. There are the affordable houses, even if people say it is unconstitutional, but there are things you can see. So I can say Ruto is also doing XYZ, and the opponents, rather than saying that, but that is normal in politics. They just criticize you because they're your opponents. But even if they have given opportunity to them, they cannot transform the country because remember these people have been there before. Matangi was there with Uhuru Kenyatta. Kalonzo has been there. Rigathi Gachagua has been there. Ruto has also been there. So I think transforming the country to Singapore, it is not now. It's next to impossible. Back to you, Makobura.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Migod. Allow me to welcome our good friend Simba Natembea. And I just want to ask him the same question. What is your take? You'll when you be coming to give your take, you'll say hi na utuambie umeshinda aje.
Simba
And then the
netaya,
question,
si Simba natembea. Simba netaya. Get it right. Simba netaya, Simba netaya, si Simba natembea.
the question I'm asking you is, what is your view on Rigathi Gachagua's comments saying that the president seems not to be on the right trail? He's saying that the president is not honoring the promises and partly saying that the future of the Republic of Kenya is not as the president, that is William Samoei Ruto, is telling the people of Kenya. He's saying that the plans he has are all unrealistic and cannot take Kenya to where the people of Kenya and where the world is going. What is your take on those statements, Simba? And you can give us your take on whether the plans, all those things that the president are doing are all geared towards the betterment of the country, or he's doing so in a slow manner. Simba?
Asante sana Marco Bora and Mkuda, lakini unanipata
Yes, I can hear you. Proceed.
Marco Bora, unanipata?
Nakusikiza, tunakusikia. We can hear
Kuna
you.
mahali kelele inatokea ikiwa sana hatusikizani vizuri. Yes, sasa kuna mambo ambayo unajua wakati mwingine hata ukiongea hayaleti ile picha.
I think Simba is having a problem with his network. I don't know. He has just dropped. I don't know. Maybe we wait for him. If he comes, we'll give him a chance to give his take. Simba, can you hear me? Simba, can you hear me? Miguda, kindly confirm if you can hear me.
Yeah, uko sawa, uko sawa.
Okay, then I think Simba is having a problem with his network. Yeah. So maybe we proceed. If his network gets stable, he'll give us his take. Mr. Miguda, today we saw the opposition leaders. That is Matiang'i. We saw Kalonzo. Kalonzo was in a church. I mean, in one of the universities in Kenya, and Matiang'i was in a church, and they're all coming out as with a tone, of course, of reminding the people of Kenya that the current leadership is not the right, does not have what it takes to to deliver the people of Kenya from the challenges that the people of the country is going through. And they're coming out to give their view. They're coming out to castigate and to say that even this what they're witnessing, what we call slow pace that the president is using to ensure that he does the programs or the projects that he promised the people of Kenya. And they're also saying that there is there's lack of following the law, that the law of the Republic of Kenya is not respected and it is not being followed, that the constitution is not partly respected, that quite a number of things are done, against what is there in the constitution. The same comments, of course, I told you JB Muturi was in one of the channels today, and he was giving the same version. He's saying that the people of Kenya, according to his statement, should not trust the president, and he's saying that there's so many things the president promised and he has never delivered. And he's saying again that the president can tell you this today and tomorrow he tells you a different story. This is a statement that we are seeing among all the opposition leaders. And my question to you, Mr. Migoda, why do you think they are coming out this bold at this particular moment or time to castigate the government? Do you really think they have what it takes, maybe to run the country if they are given the opportunity? Or what is your view again on their way of castigating the government? Are they doing so with truth, or they're doing so because of the political interest that they have? And why is it that while they were serving in this particular government, they did not have time to come out and castigate? Good.
We can't say that they are doing it in good faith or not, because some of them were buddies to William Ruto. And when they were establishing the UDA government, they were part and parcel of it. Actually, they contributed really to establish this government. And because they have differed ideologically or in terms of principality, they have found themselves in different camps. And for that matter, they have come out to critique the current president because they also want to get back to power. They have just formed an alliance to capture power. Whatever they have formed today, they have formed it to capture power. In the struggling for power or power scrambling, you have to lay out all your arsenals so that you can go to war, because it's going to be a very competitive. And there are things that you cannot substantiate because there were the people who were inside there. There were the people who were in the kitchen with the president. And whatever they tend to tell us, we believe because they were there. I remember a say whereby when a crocodile comes from the river or from the lake and brief you about the state of that lake, you better believe that crocodile. So if people have come from Ruto camp claiming whatever they're claiming or allegations against him, you can only believe them because you and me, you are never there. The people are there. And for that matter, I want just to say that it's very difficult for Kenyans to believe either who is who. Kenyans sometimes they usually sympathize with one victim and elect what they did to Ruto. They sympathize with him in the times of Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. They elected him. What if Kenyans decide to sympathize with Gachagua and elect him? I don't think we're gonna solve the situation, because mostly you find out that whenever a people have come to transform the country, whenever a people have come to bring reforms, they usually being influenced by the state of the society to make it better for themselves and the future generation. But it is a case whereby some 3 people are sitting somewhere in a corner, try to decide for the state of the people. That's why I say, to me, these guys, they are just competing so that whoever wins retain power, or whoever wins come back and form the government. But what I want to say is that even if people are competing, there are things that we can't say that William Ruto, in terms of 10 or out of 100%, he has done none. He's at 0%. Even if it's at 1% or 2%, those are the efforts I'm saying he has been doing. So with those little efforts, the opposition or the people should come out and say, we are going to better whatever he's doing, or we are going to ensure that when we come to office, we give Kenyans electricity, clean water, better health facilities, better education, adequate teachers for the learners, and sustainability environment for each and every Kenyans to thrive in. To me, that one could be a bit persuasive to Raia, other than making it look like we were here and this guy was like this. What about them? Because we were not there. What about them? What were they doing? Why could they not speak by that time? So it's very difficult to trust either camp. We can just give them all benefit of doubt. Remembering, we just give them benefit of doubt, knowing very well that we are tumechezwa sisi wa wananchi. So we the people, they want to understand the real issues or the real problems affecting us, so that whenever he or she is at the apex, he or she can actually articulate or implement our concerns. But the people who have gone up against each other, they tend to be basically interested into their political interest and influence, but not wananchi. Wananchi are left alone. Wananchi should be unite against all this political class. To me, it could be a vote of question, whereby we put all of them together, Gachagua camp, Ruto camp, and the people. Now the people should have their neutral representatives. Then we should send all these political cabals at home. Because if you send Ruto home, you left Kalonzo and Gachagua. Those are Kanus. So you have not done anything with the system. The main intent was to get overhaul of the whole system. But how do you get overhaul of the whole system? None should be trusted. Then you kick the entire team home, opposition and the government. Then you bring in a new structure. You bring in a new leadership. You bring in a new governance, whereby it's a people-centered government.
Okay, thank you so much. Something else that I want you to give your take on is today we saw the cabinet secretary in charge of energy, Opiyo Wandayi, was in Kisumu for fundraising. Of course, there were quite a number of members of parliament. There was Mathare, member of parliament, and Kisumu Central. I also saw the deputy governor of Kisumu, among others. And they're all saying that, ODM needs to support the president, William Samoei Ruto. And they're going to do so. Actually, is rallying that they do so until past 2027. You'll give your take on that. And the question you'll dwell on, what you can dwell on in that particular question is the consistent view amongst the people or the leadership of ODM giving different views on the stand of party, and to what extent are they going to work with the president? You'll give us your take on that. Something else that I want you to give your take on is the president of Uganda did confirm that the two Kenyan activists were truly in Uganda and they were arrested, having gotten the intelligence from their country. And he did confirm that he did receive some calls from Kenyan leaders, and out of that, he had two options, either to release them or to put them in the jail in Uganda, and he decided to release them. What does that tell you? Having in mind that the police of Uganda had came out to say that they did not know and they were not aware of the two Kenyans. The Defense Force of Uganda also came out and said the same. What does that tell you, and how does that affect the interaction of the East African communities and even the treaties that are between the two countries? And the fellowship, and the good relationship that they've always enjoyed. You'll give us your take on that and what it means. Remember, there was a case that had been filed in Ugandan High Court that the government of Uganda be made or forced to produce the two. And the judge over there did say that the police and the KDF and the government of Uganda did not or were not aware of the two people, the two activists. And for that reason, the case ilitupiliwa mbali. What does that tell you again on matters of law and the international diplomacy? You'll give us your take. And then something else that you can give us your take on what is going on still in Tanzania. Do you think arresting the opposition leaders is going to solve the problems? Or what is your take on the issue of the leaders coming out to call the opposition so that they can?
Okay, I think you have been kicked out. What I can say is that the issue whereby ODM is going to work with the current president until 2027, then from there they will decide their fate. But where do they want to go? They will just have to work with him, because you look at the better option before making a coalition out of the current constituted coalitions. You find out that there are some whereby the interests of ODM is not being served, even in terms of distribution of positions. These politics have to go to where there is interest, and I believe that they will be going to those areas. When talked about the issue whereby Kenya's activists were detained in Communicado, and there was a request or the petition filed in court of Uganda for their habeas corpus orders, so that the people could be presented, dead or alive, the body. When the habeas corpus order was issued, but later there's an admission that actually they were detained, and there was only two options: to either release them or jail them. But we deemed it fit to release them. You
Miguda, can you hear me? Okay, thank you so much. I think Miguda is also having a problem with the internet. I don't know what's the problem today because it keeps dropping. Even on my side, I've witnessed the same. And to our viewers, thank you so much, Eric Ayaga, for finding time to join us. Eric is saying ODM died with Baba. Anyone still think he or she can command Raila Odinga supporters is in any way is a dream. Okay, thank you so much, Eric, for finding time to join us. We really appreciate you coming over to just engage us at the comment section. I can see Eric is also saying that the goodness with Uganda, when you are abducted, authority accepting we have him. Here, Kasongo, he denies everything. But Eric, on the same note, you remember the spokesperson of police of Uganda did say that they were not aware of these two gentlemen. The same statement was also issued by the KDA, the defense of Uganda, that the two gentlemen were not in their custody. So I think it is just the same play or the same game that is played over here in Kenya. It is the same game, of course, that is being played in Uganda and as well in Tanzania. Remember the many times that people were arrested here in Kenya, the police came out to say that they were not aware until mounted pressure from the people of Kenya and the consistency that they had while they were going to the streets. That is when, the police came out and said released. And that, of course, brings me to this question. Why do you think we've always had a lying leadership? A leadership that would come out and say things which are not true in the limelight. Actually, they call a press. And in presence of the press, they say that we don't know, we are not aware. And then after some days, they do the release, or it is being confirmed from the insiders. I think this is not the right way to do things. This is not the right way to manage or to run countries. And that, of course, shows a lot of incompetency, because it can't be that somebody is arrested, and whenever arrests are done, normally we understand that it is the forces or the police who does the arrest. If they do so, what is wrong coming out to say that we did arrest him? Why is it that they're keeping quiet and then their leaders are coming out to give those kind of statement? Similar thing, we've seen that in Kenya. People have been arrested. The police have always come out to deny, and even the relevant authorities have come out to deny. And then after sometimes the people are released, and then they now start saying that, yes, they were with us. The same thing is happening in Uganda and as well in Tanzania. That is so unfortunate. Allow me to acknowledge the presence of Good Ear at the comment section. He's saying hi. Sisi hapa tunasema hi as well. And Good Ear is saying all what matters, they are free. It's all political games. One way of gathering votes. Hashtag 2027 knocking the door. Okay, thank you so much, Good Ear. Eric is saying, my brother, Uganda police is national. They are very honest. Uganda military isn't national. It's a private company for M7. So anything with military in Uganda police can't interfere. Okay. Thank you so much, Eric. Miguda, you can proceed. We had lost you.
First, let me also acknowledge the presence of Eric Ayaga. Eric Ayaga has been missing in action. I saw some elder by the name. He sits in the council of elders in Luo community. I don't know whether he's deputy to care or is called Ayaga. I think that Ayaga is related to Eric Ayaga. I don't know whether it's your grandfather or your dad. I saw someone by the name Ayaga coming from Siaya. I think that is maybe your dad. But I never saw you, so I don't know where were you. I expected to maybe to meet you there or to see you in those. It was 2 weeks ago. I think that is your grandfather. He sits in the council of care. I don't know, whatever. Maybe you know better. So Eric is good. You are here, and one day when I'll be in Seattle, I'll make sure that if that is your grandpa, we'll meet, or your dad. Also, I want to appreciate the presence of Goodyear. Okay. I was just saying that when there was an habeas corpus order to present the bodies in Uganda, there was that acknowledgement that the people were held in custody. And then when the authority in the country were mum about the incidents, they were very much quiet. They never wanted to intervene. I don't know what is this, that when they were finally acquitted or set free, everybody, you saw Musalia Mudavadi celebrating, Joash Mag celebrating. What is this? Why are they celebrating? Why could they celebrate when they were arrested and they were denied the freedom of movement? And I don't know why they were now celebrating that. Oh, we have achieved as a state. We have achieved now. We got our people back. There was a time when Ruto was in Qatar, and he tweeted on X Space that just a phone call, a certain detainee was released in Ethiopia. Then I watch Karua respond to that with that. Just make a call for Bob Njagi and Oyo to be released. Then sometimes 2 days later they were released. They were set free to come back to the country. And I don't know. You can ask yourself, why were they being detained in that country? For what purposes? And for that long time, I don't know. Does it make sense anyway? There's I believe that there's no effective communication between the law enforcement officers and the presidency. There's no effective communication. There are no real intels. The intels are not reliable. Or maybe they have decided to ignore or not paying attention to the intels they are supposed to be having. Because you'll find out that what concerns the country, what is pressing the people, is not being addressed. None is interested to address anything that affects the country, but people are just busy for the PRs, and people are just busy to contradict the issues. Like you find out that when people are demanding for equality, or maybe people are demanding for the inclusivity integration finance bill, the government in place tend to not listen, or they tend to ignore the people. But those are the real issues on the ground. And I don't know whether they are not getting the right intelligence, so they fail to react on those things or not. Vis-a-vis, find that even Uganda country, they tend to align with the Kenyan system sometimes. And what I can just say is that the effective communication should be adjusted between the law enforcement officers and the executive, because most of the time when the executive are giving people direction, or when the executive are trying to go to the press for briefing, they contradict the real issue on the ground. Even that has happened in the interior docket. Murkomen contradict the real facts. So there is misrepresentation of facts. from the executive and the law enforcement body. And also, you understand there was some misrepresentation of facts when Albert Juang was killed by a police officer. So there were those misrepresentation of facts. So you find out that there should be that clarity, effective, whereby if I'm being held in custody or under police cells, that should be the real thing. It should reflect what comes from the press. But what comes from the press does not reflect the real issue at that particular time. That's why we are getting it wrong. And that's why we're saying, okay, how sure are you? How can you prove us that this is the real thing? I think that's how it works. But also, in terms of relationship, how the countries relate, there is no need to do harm to a foreigner into your country, because you also the very country has hosted your citizens, and they have been guaranteed basic rights and fundamental freedoms equally to the host country citizens. And this issue of you are trying to make it look like you are sovereign to foreigners, forgetting that your people are also forming part of the population in that foreign country. So anything can happen. If you try to do wrong to these civilians, the other state can retaliate. And when they retaliate, so I think we should be very careful. But the basic structure is effective communication between law enforcement officers and the executive. I don't know. Makubur, are you there? I've been left here alone. Okay, let me proceed. I'm not even able to access my screen. The Tanzanian issue, I don't know why it was asked that issue. Tanzanian issue is done now by locking up all the opposition in that country. You went where were you? You left.
I'm having a problem with, I don't know whether it's StreamYard or what, it keeps getting me or throwing me out of the studio. I'm trying, it keeps, I don't know what's wrong today. I hope. I don't think we will not go for long, because I'm having a serious problem accessing the studio. So you can just give your final remarks, and then you can proceed. I mean, you can finish your statement and give your final remarks, kind of. And maybe allow me to read these statements before you give your take on them as well. Eric is saying,
you just show me them on the screen. You know, I can't access the screen.
okay, Uganda police are the best police in East Africa, but Uganda military are different. That's why even at a police post in Uganda, you must get Ugandan military. Okay. Thank you. Eric is also saying that it is, Goody is saying it is very difficult to get a police officer who is on the side of the public within reason, unless you are big somebody who can bribe and buy your way out. Okay, thank you. Okay, yeah. Proceed, Miguda.
My final thought. I just want to appeal to Kenyan people that we sometimes need to be reasonable and calm, and also we need to be a bit rational when making decisions. Let us not put emotions or tribal-based ties to decide for us what is best for the country. We should look at the common goal, the so-called national values and principle of governance, so that we can have a very effective and functioning government, so that we can stop being in opposition all the time as a people. Right now, the people, all of us are in opposition because the people are trying to get it right. The civilians are dissatisfied, most of them, with the service of the current government. The current government is unpopular because people are dissatisfied with their promises, their work. So for us to put a final nail to that coffin, let us embrace one another. Let us embrace one ideology. Let us embrace one philosophy. It should be transformation, and most importantly, it should be economic transformation. We transform this country economically by establish systems that can actually create jobs, opportunities, and also can make young people, even old people, to have money in their pockets. This system we are having is a rotten system. Our system is not a good system because we don't have jobs as young people. How comes that the energetic population, skilled population, young with passion, are not effective into their country because even after all the knowledge have been acquired from school or from school of life, they are not part and parcel of the government of this country. They have not been integrated into the governance structure. They have not been integrated into even issues to the economic. Even to look at the parastatals, the people are there. They are not engaging the youthful and energetic people. It's very wrong. We need to rethink as a country. We are not going to the right direction. Actually, we are losing it as a country. So it's high time we start this discussion of economic liberation. How do we liberate this country economically once and for all? Let us all stop all these sideshows of political opposition, the united opposition, all these dramas, all these theatrics. We should stop them and agree in one unison that we want to transform this country economically, because once it is transformed economically, it's gonna affect everybody, irrespective of your tribe, irrespective of your ideology. It's going to, if the system works for you, it works for me. If the system works for the Kenyan people, it's work for all of us. So let us not be selective with the system. This is a rotten system. We need to get overhaul of it. And we're just saying the struggle continues, and this is just the beginning, because the people are there, people will see struggle. Until that time, the people will be there, will get it right. And the struggle should not come to an end because of 1, 2, 3. The struggle must always continue for the betterment of the people's life. It should be about the people-centered government. The people's, not individual, not united opposition, not distributing of positions. How do we make it a people-centered, whereby, it doesn't matter with the president, we don't care. But if it works for me, it works for you, it works for the entire country. So whoever is the president doesn't matter. What matters, is it working economically? That's what we're looking at. It is our health facilities and services adequate? Do you have a better education system? Do you have clean water? Those are the things we need to start focusing going ahead about economic liberation, and it should be the last liberation. And then we we claim to be sovereign, to be independent. Makobura, see you next time. And say hello to our viewers. Let me respond to that one before I left. We can't import jobs. Let's be patriotic and respect government of the day. Just struggle alone. We are struggling, but we have not said that somebody should import jobs. Why? What to decide as they do always. Get me back that one, not this one. The one. This can't be imported jobs. Let's be patriotic and respect government. Being patriotic and respecting government does not mean that you live begging. That's what we should understand.
Okay, thank you so much. And Good Yaya is saying Kenya should work for everyone. Miguda, you're 100% right. Okay. Good Day is also saying Laban Misiani, your CEO is the one exporting jobs. Okay. Yeah, I'll not say much. I just want to take this opportunity to say a big thank you to our good friend Goody. Thank you so much for your assistance as well. We really appreciate. Allow me to acknowledge and say thank you to Eric Ayaga, to our good friend Laban Misiani and his two-term narrative. Here we say that your opinion counts. If you've decided it is two-term, it is up to you. If it is one term, it is up to you. If it is doing an overhaul, it is up to you. Your view matters because you're a Kenyan. The Constitution gives you the mandate to think and to come up with solutions or to give views on what you think is right or bad. Labani is saying, good year. I said importing, not exporting. Okay. Thank you so much for giving us your take. I really appreciate those of you who have been joining. We really appreciate your consistency and the consistent engagement at the comment section. We really appreciate. If you're new, this is Brother Benson Media. And here we say that your opinion counts. You can support us by liking or subscribing to the channel. If you do so, it is, of course, a way of supporting us. Na sisi hapa tutasema ni asante. I now want to take this opportunity. What do you call people sent to work abroad? Exporting. I think that's exporting labor, if I'm not wrong. Because when we have professionals going outside, then we are exporting labor. And when we have people coming in, we are importing. Yeah, I think that's my understanding of that term. Unless Laban Misiani has a different version of what he's speaking about, because I remember I saw him saying here that good year, where is that? It was here. Miguda, we can't import jobs. Let's be patriotic and respect the government of the day. Kenya should work for everyone. Okay. Okay, yeah. Laban Misiani picking and choosing like anyway. Thank you so much. I want to take this opportunity to say a big thank you to everyone who joined us this night or this evening or this morning. We are very much grateful. We really appreciate you so much for finding time to be with us and of course engaging us at the comment section. May God bless each and every one of you. I want to take the opportunity to wish you all a blessed night, A blessed morning, a blessed afternoon, a blessed evening, blessed night. From wherever you're watching us from, thank you so much, and may God bless you. See you again tomorrow.